Moné, she made her triumphant return into the Owen Hart Cup as a wild card, and she defeated Alex Windsor. And now Mercedes Moné is moving on in the Owen Hart Cup. Now Mercedes Moné, we have not seen her since late December, after she lost her TBS championship to Willow Nightingale, and soon after that she would become beltless over the last few months. Now, me and you, we've had long left discussions about this story of Mercedes having all these titles and losing them, and the downfall being good for her, and the come up will be even better when she does finally win the big one. Because the one thing with Mercedes was she didn't win the big one. She never got a chance to win the AEW Women's World Championship. Every time she got the opportunity, she got stalled. So this is last year's Owen Hart Cup winner. So what are your thoughts on Mercedes returning to AEW?
I got multiple intakes on it. I mean, one, I was similar to you. I only really saw the highlight of her return. I think something that hopefully commentary did a good thing to put over. I'm going to recap the match to make sure. But Alex Windsor is, I believe, the current New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Champion, which is one of the several belts Mercedes held. I'm sure she's not going to be going back for that belt. Also, her being in the Owen, she's potentially the second person, male or female, to win it twice. But like you said, something you're interested in. So does Mercedes being back, is that going to be something that's going to get you to tune in and see AEW?
So as you know, like the way I watch wrestling, like it's changed. Like granted, like we've done this show, guys, new viewers. This was originally a podcast before a lot of podcasts went to the YouTube platform. So a lot of times I would like sit down and like be locked in live, and that's not the case anymore. So to the contrary, I do watch AEW. I just kind of like watch and pick the things that I like to watch. So now, so like, in the same thing with WWE. WWE, like I'll prepare for the show. I'm aware of what's going on. So in AEW, I'm aware of what's going on. So, but Mercedes was one person that I actually did always want to chime in and actually watch, because as you guys know, I was a huge Sasha Banks fan, and I never took my eye off of it. You know, when she first debuted in AEW, it was a lot of like, what the hell's going on? But she kind of got her foot together, and I gave a lot of credit to that, to the whole thing she was doing with Harley Cameron, because Harley Cameron kind of like brought some personality out of her, and
Harley Cameron can bring a lot out of anyone.
Yeah. So she brought a lot of personality out of her, and kind of like felt like Sasha Banks again, and finally kind of like Mercedes actually found her footing. And then she went on to have that run during the summer. She had a feud with Toni Storm, and then of course went after the tag titles, and then ultimately losing the TBS championship to Willow Nightingale. Also, ironically, who was also vacated the TBS championship as well. So maybe Mercedes can come back after that. But I am looking forward to it, because I said Mercedes, she was, you didn't do the Maddies with me, but she was the Women's Wrestler of the Year for 2025 for me. And I'm glad to actually see her back. And I'm looking forward to see what she actually does, because we were like so invested in that whole story, because there are so many clips that we have of her that we continuously talk about. When's the crash out coming? The crash out's coming. When's she going to go bankrupt and lose all her championships? And granted, she lost the most important one to her, which was the TBS championship, and then all the other ones she lost on all her independent titles she lost. So I can't wait to see what she's actually going to do, because it's about to be all in, all out season. So you already know that's their Mecca show of the year. So I can't wait to see it. Maybe, like you said, she might end up being that 2-time champion.
Yeah. So this is building up to Forbidden Door, which is going to be like a quad promotion show. AEW, New Japan, Stardom, CMLL. Cool thing with Mercedes being back, like you just said, we haven't seen her since December. She's been, whether they booed or cheered her, she's been a heel her whole AEW run. She's gonna be a babyface now. I assume. I again haven't seen this, so it'll also, in my opinion, be fun to see a new side from her in AEW.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like I said, like I'm not against AEW. I just consume my wrestling a little differently. I like, you guys cannot say that I shit on WWE on this stream all the time. Almost every week.
I'm here for that.
I'm sure you are, especially with your reincarnated AEW love. But I am looking forward to seeing.
Hey, what are you? You're my reincarnation.